Parents, watch those little ones. Keep them seated on a bench or on your lap, and make sure they keep their hands and arms inside. Way up on the locomotive, that's Engineer Rich. He's going to be driving us today. Engineer Anthony, Engineer John, they're holding down the platform. My name's Vince. I'll be the voice in your head for the next 12 minutes. All aboard.
Clear, all clear.
See you in a few minutes. Well, it's so nice to see everybody out here on this gorgeous Sunday. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
So glad you decided to come out and hop on our train and take the trip all the way up to the forest. That's right, we're heading about a half mile up to the other edge of the park. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll bring you right back to the station, no extra charge. Just sit back, relax. I'm going to be narrating some stuff along the way. Stay safe and enjoy the ride. Well, we're coming up on the first of two lakes we're going to be rolling past. On your left-hand side is Lower Lake. Now, we named it Lower Lake because, well, it's lower than the other one. There's some water turtles on the far shore there. They climbed out to catch a little sunshine. You can even see the silhouettes of the fish out there in the lake. Look at those big, giant fish out there waiting to be caught. There's some turtles floating around in there, too. There's some hybrid ducks on the far shore there. Both of our lakes are stocked with fish, and fishing is allowed. If you're over 16, though, you do need a fishing license.
Under 16, you don't need one.
There's our beautiful waterfall. Up above our beautiful waterfall is beautiful Upper Lake. You look all the way across beautiful Upper Lake and you see the beautiful boathouse. Okay, it's not really beautiful, but it is the oldest building still standing here in the park. The boathouse dates all the way back to 1914.
I love your overalls.
They used to rent rowboats out of there. We still use it today for our rental boats. Today we rent aqua cycles. Now these trees that we're rolling through today are part of an ancient forest that's been here for thousands of years. It's made up mostly of sycamore trees. The sycamore trees have the white bark and the giant light green leaves. And the mighty oak trees, the oak trees have the gray bark and the tiny dark green leaves. Sycamores and oaks make up the bulk of our ancient forest here along the Santiago Creek. There's a better view of the boathouse and Upper Lake. Hooked onto the boathouse, there's wheel fun rentals, all different sizes and types of bikes for rent. And everything's open until 6 o'clock today. And once we round the curve, way off to the left, you'll see the Orange County Zoo. They have opened that new mountain lion exhibit about 3 weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, it is spectacular. They're open till 4:30 today. It's only $2 to get in. This big octagonal building on your left houses our nature center. The building itself was built way back in 1929. And it looks like the nature center is open today. We got a peacock off to the right-hand side, about 40 feet into our forest. Right-hand side, bright blue neck and head. That means it's a male peacock. There he is. He's pruning his feathers there. This big giant statue coming up on your left is our benefactor, James Irvine II. He's the one who sold 160 acres of his land to Orange County for $1. That was way back in 1897. This park you're having fun in today is the oldest regional park in the entire state of California. Off to the right-hand side, behind the chain link fence, is a water fountain that's hooked up to a natural spring. And it's been flowing water non-stop since it was installed there by its female maker way back in 1919. And there's a big giant tree coming up to the right of the locomotive. It's got a lump at the bottom and some limbs on the ground. That's the oldest tree you're going to see here in the park. It's a California coastal live oak tree, well over 450 years old. And there's some California gray squirrels running around on the ground. They don't live up in the trees like the red squirrels do. They live in holes in the ground. And they've got tunnels all over this part of the park. Now way off to the right-hand side, all the way across Upper Lake, just to the left of that blue boat, you can see there's a stone platform over there. On that platform, you can see there's a cannon pointed right at us. That cannon dates all the way back to 1853, well before the Civil War. It's made out of solid brass and it shoots a 12-pound cannonball. It's one of the oldest artifacts in the whole of Orange County. Just behind that cannon is our monument to the Spanish-American War of 1898. There's a metal plaque on that monument made from the metal of the sunken battleship Maine. It's only a few minutes walk up here from the station. I recommend you come out, check all this stuff out. Check it out up close. This big giant tree to the right with the thick red bark, it kind of looks like a California redwood tree. It is not native to California at all. It's a giant red Australian eucalyptus tree. These eucalyptus trees were imported about 100 years ago during the Industrial Revolution. Turns out their grain structure is pretty much worthless for the industry, so most of them are still unharvested around the county. But down here, good example of our native forest. Left-hand side, oak trees, tiny dark green leaves. And on the right-hand side, we've got your sycamore trees with the white bark and the big giant light green leaves. Hybrid ducks hanging out on the far shore there. Those are part duck, part goose. That's why they're so big and their colors are all mixed up. And on the far shore there by that green bench, out there in the sunshine, it looks like there's a bunch of water turtles have climbed out to catch some sunshine. Those are red-eared sliders. They're a common water turtle. They're not native to this part of America, but since they sell them in pet shops, they end up in our lake. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them over there. Yeah, sometimes you can see those fish silhouettes, or you can even see the water turtles with their heads sticking out and their shells floating around behind them. Well, we're almost to the Irvine Park Railroad Mining Tunnel. That's right, folks, we've got a tunnel coming up ahead. Please stay seated and keep those hands and arms inside the coach. And what is it you like to do when you go through a tunnel? Maybe you hold your breath through the tunnel, or lift your feet up off the floor through the tunnel. Or maybe you put your arms up in the air like you're on a roller coaster. Or maybe you like to scream all the way through.
No.
There's our sunshine. Well, on behalf of Engineer Rich, Engineer John, Engineer Anthony, and myself, we want to thank you so much for riding the Irvine Park Railroad on this absolutely gorgeous Father's Day. We hope you're having a blast here in the park. We hope you go on to have a lot more fun today. Don't forget to check out that zoo and the nature center. Maybe rent a boat or a bike. Just stay seated for me. Stay seated as we work our way back into the station. Just wait for our train to come to a full stop. There you go. Step out to the right-hand side. Right-hand side. Watch your head, watch your step, and welcome back.